In its decade-spanning publication, Weekly Shounen Jump has published a lot of manga, with a lot of these mangas eventually leading to animes popular all around the world. But have you ever wondered what was the first ever Weekly Shounen Jump manga to become an anime? That would be Otoko Ippiki Gaki Deisho, or The Ideal Boy Gang Leader, written by Hiroshi Motomiya. Our story begins with Menkishi Tegoya, a reckless teenage delinquent who wishes to one day become the greatest gang leader in Japan. But for now, all he has as followers are children, and more concerningly, he simply can't win a fight. But even then, there's still something about him. When our story first begins, he loses a 1v7 fight, but he doesn't blame the odds, only himself. He may not have much right now, but what he does have is an unbreakable spirit. On his way home, he sees a girl laughing at him from a balcony. His pride gets the better of him and he lashes out at her. When he finally gets home, he begins a conversation with his mother about his late father, mainly about the way everyone talks about him, something that his mother reacts strangely to. This conversation oddly shifts quickly over to the girl from the balcony, and how she is, in fact, the niece of a foreman from Japan. Her name is Tomoko, and she's actually wheelchair-bound. Feeling bad, Togawa went back to her house to apologize, and actually offered to help her walk again. A random teenager trying to help someone else walk goes as well as you think it would, but to be fair, there is some progress. But one night, Tomoko's uncle came over to assault Togawa, blaming him for a cold she received after taking her out for a lesson. It is only after a savage verbal beatdown by Togawa's mom that he leaves. But he still got the message and decided to no longer see her. Which is probably for the best, because apparently a few convicts escaped and got their hands on dynamite somehow. Meaning they could be anywhere and the streets are now unsafe. And I guess Tomoko didn't get the message because she decides to go visit Tomoko at his house since he won't come see her. On her way there, she gets lost in the woods and take a wild guess on who she walks into. Tomoko's dad goes to Togawa's house, tells him everything, and then wants him to go rescue her. Now, this grown-ass man asking a teenager he's antagonized several times in the past to go save his daughter is not just cowardly, but on brand for him. As the mother explains, several years ago, a ship crashed near their town, and the passengers had no way of escaping on their own. They needed help, but everyone in the town was too scared to do something. Everyone except Togawa's dad. So he single-handedly saved the passengers. The horrible thing is, if he actually got help from the others, he might have survived. Hearing about his father's bravery for the first time, he decides to follow in his footsteps and go save Tomoko by himself, with no one else volunteering to help him. It's as if the lesson and irony of the situation went over their heads. So, with his mother's warning, he charged into the woods. He eventually finds them, but then quickly realizes that he is outnumbered by convicts, with dynamite, somehow. But even then, Togawa's spirit persists. He avoids all the TNT and takes down the convicts. However, one lit stick of dynamite rolls behind him unnoticed. But Tomoko does see it, and in an effort to save him, she successfully walks over to the fuse and blows it out. When it's all over, Tomoko and Togawa embrace in celebration. In the end, Tomoko has to return to Tokyo, but she left behind a letter to Togawa revealing how much she likes him. I mean, obviously. And that's how it ends. The craziest part is, that's only chapter 1 of the manga. There is so much more. I haven't read the whole thing myself, but I like what I'm seeing so far. And I can see how this became the first Shounen Jump manga to become animated. It is very endearing in its own way. Moreover, the characteristics and concepts we see within Togawa are also explored in future protagonists. And yeah, that was Otoko Ippiki Gaki Deisho. If it interests you, check it out. Anyway, peace.